Hi. I don't really know how else to start off this video besides saying that I might seem a little bit nasally because I contracted influenza B. It's the worst cold that I've ever had. It's not even a cold, it's literally the flu. What am I even talking about? And anyways, I just wanted to make this video because there's been a few things in my Roblox Studio sandbox that I've been wanting to share for a long time, and I'm kind of mad at myself for not sharing because they're pretty cool and I feel like you guys need to know. Okay, first of all, I am very excited for this year's Easter event in Dandy's World, and I am very happy that Eggen over here is finally getting some appreciation by the fandom. Like, have you seen all the fan art of his new skater fit? I'm not gonna lie, the first thing that came to mind was, he was a skater boy, she said see you later boy. Oh my god, I used to listen to that song all the time when I was younger. I remember a year ago when Eggson first came out and people were absolutely hating him for no reason. There were a select few people in comment sections saying, a year later he'll become popular. And I was kind of doubting that. But I guess it finally happened, and I'm so glad because it's like, why? Just look at this guy. He's so sweet. Look at him. He won't hurt a fly. Nah, but Eggson has got to be my favorite common tune. Not just event common tune, not regular common tune, but just all-time favorite common tune. Not to change the subject so quickly, but by now you're probably wondering who in the world this guy is right next to him. No, he's not a new canon character that I somehow accessed despite Quelver not even knowing me, but he is my very own original character. His name is Oakley, and he regulates the events, kind of like how Dial runs the train. So he's basically in charge of everything that goes on in the events, and he makes sure everything goes to plan. And since Oakley is retired, he has handed off that position to his daughter, Maple. So here's Maple, as you can see. I was a little bit confused and didn't really know how to make a leaf into a head at first, but then I just played around with Blender for a little while, and then I just sort of went with whatever I could come up with. Sometimes I make things up as I go. I don't even use concept art, but I just kind of experiment with different styles and things. And I also use a lot of other parts from tunes, mostly skins. Like, for example, this is Tegan's torso, and this is Lavender Maid Tisha's legs. I used Coco's hands. Why specifically Coco? Well, it's because she has a texture ID on her hands, or I should say paws, and I used that to my advantage in order to redesign the hands to have fingerless gloves. So I'm just working with what I can here. And I don't really know how many other people do that, or if people even think that's okay, but as long as you're crediting the person who originally made the models, then yeah, I think it's okay. Which is obviously Quelver, so yes, thank you, Quelver. I now realize that this makes Maple and Oakley the first biological father-daughter relationship, and you're probably thinking, like, how did that work? Well, my answer to that is that sometimes an acorn would have a smaller acorn attached to it, and Oakley was actually no different. You see, his smaller acorn fell off, and he used it as a seed to plant Maple, and that's basically how Maple was born. Now, you might be thinking, what are their personalities? Well, I took a screenshot of a Google Doc, and it's got their bio cards on them. Starting off with Oakley. Oakley has a firm value for the power of knowledge. His brain is as sharp as his heart is kind. Eagerly willing to help his friends through difficult tasks, this toon always knows how to break through any weakness one might have. Based on that description, you could probably figure out that he's actually a teacher, and I made him into a teacher because I have a pretty high value for them, especially the ones who are nicer and more accepting of your shortcomings. They have to put up through so many different types of children, especially if they have taught certain grades, and don't even get me started on the ones in middle school. But like I said, I just have a general appreciation for teachers, so why not make a teacher character? As for Maple, her description reads, Maple is a toon who always puts value on the memories we make along the way, especially during the seasonal months. Whether she's helping you choose your spooky costume, deck the halls, or organize an egg hunt, she always knows how to have others cherish these moments throughout the year. As you could tell by her description, she clearly values memories and moments because she recognizes the value of them and she wants people to cherish those because in reality, we really do have to value the memories that we make along the way, and she definitely wants to tell kids that. And she tries to tell them to make the most of every single moment because in the end, they're only going to have so many of those moments. And I also feel like that's important for all of us to hear too. I'm gonna go over this in a different video, but that also plays into her twisted counterpart too. Speaking of twisted counterparts, don't even get me started on Oakley's Twisted. It's so sad. I don't know why I made it so sad, but I'll go over it in the same video. I'm so sorry. It reminds me of that one art challenge that goes something like...
Impossible art challenge. Create an OC with no trauma. That's right, no PTSD, no scars. They must have all 4 of their limbs intact.
I'm not gonna say exactly what it was because it is for a different video, but it does heavily have to do with something about Twisted Eggson because they were both best friends at one point, and I say were with heavy emphasis. Take with that what you will. Speaking of Twisted Eggson, there's actually something very different that I want to show you, and I don't know why it's been in my files for so long and I just haven't talked about it yet, but I actually redesigned Twisted Eggson back in the summertime. Now this is very different, as you can see. I added a lot more bird features to him because I always used to headcanon that Eggson was a bit more bird-like because he's an egg, and especially during Easter time, eggs are associated with birds and chickens and chicklings, ducklings, whatnot. Also, keep in mind that this isn't canon to my AU or any AU, this is just concept art for what he would look like as a main. You could see that his vest became wings, or at least the skeleton of wings, and he even grew a tail. His glasses didn't grow in size, and now they're too small for his face, and that means he's partially blind. I mean, he already was partially blind because he doesn't have his left eye, but now he's even more partially blind because he can't see because his glasses are too tiny. Why do I keep traumatizing these characters? What is wrong with me? Also, I'm pretty sure that this was one of my first attempts at reusing certain assets by Quelver. Like, for example, I used Twisted Sprout's arms and I just reversed it in Blender. I used Twisted Shelly's legs, and I used just a random Blender sculpt that I created for the feet. It took me a while to get that right because I didn't really know what I was going for it. Sometimes I would model it and it would look too dinosaur-like, even though it's clearly supposed to be bird-like. Even though birds and dinosaurs are related, so yeah, that wouldn't have made too much of a difference. And you could tell that his torso is slightly asymmetrical because this was before I learned how to use the mirror tool in Blender, and you could tell that instead of ichor splatters, it's more so faded because of the specific texture ID, but I still think that it looks pretty good if it's a gradient too. It adds a little bit more realism to it. I don't really have a specific story for how he became like this, but all I could think of is that his cane was either filled with ichor, or if he was going on an egg hunt and one of the eggs was filled with ichor. I don't know. I'm pretty sure that a lot of people might think that too, because obviously his entire shtick is egg-related, so it's basically canon at this point. I don't know if it is, but it should be. I even have different faces for him too. Blink twice if you're excited for the Easter event. Yes! Blink twice if you hated the fact that you had a lot of backlash last year. Blink twice if you're horrified of Rogers chasing you if you were a main. Poor Bassie. Also, here's the attack face. It's canon that only the smiling Twisteds are the ones that don't have any sanity. But if you can remember, when Twisted Coco follows you or chases you, then yeah, she smiles, but when she's not chasing you, then she goes back to being frowning. And I actually made this into a headcanon that when she chases you, she loses a large part of her sanity, but when she loses sight of you, she regains that, and it's just a constant internal battle. And it's the same thing with this Eggson redesign here. You know, I actually have a clip of what I think that he would sound like, and I've kept it in my hidden album for almost an entire year now. I'm gonna play that on screen. I might make it into a YouTube short. Also, if you couldn't already tell, it was definitely inspired by those POV, that one Twisted V redesign videos.
Every single day of the week I like to sing a song.
Also, whatever happened to that lethal AI testing thing? I don't really know. Yeah, it might have gotten taken down. I haven't Googled what happened to it yet, but those models were so on point. Oh my goodness. Like, imagine creating something from scratch in Blender. I really hope that I can create something awesome from scratch instead of borrowing models. Don't get me wrong, I know that this looks great, but I just feel like I want to make my own someday. I also want to make my own horror game, but I don't really know how to code, let alone model, and I'm also not really too good at modeling, but I do have a clear idea of what the story is. I think that the story might be the easiest part, at least in my opinion. It's different experiences for different people, but I'm definitely better at story and drawing than I am at different 3D designing or game design. But hey, there's a start for everything. Oh, and back to Twisted Eggson redesign, I think that his mechanic would be that there would be egg baskets around the map, and whenever you would try to get one of those egg baskets for currency, then he would run towards them at full speed, kind of like Bobette, but instead of picking up any item and him running to it, it's exclusively egg baskets. If you get out of his sight quick enough, then he'll go to the nearest machine, hit the machine, and then it would reduce like 25 or 50% of the machine's progress. I don't really know, both sound bad either way. But if you don't get out of his sight and he chases you, then he won't take anything away from the machine. So it's kind of like a win-lose situation for both. Anyways, I'm pretty sure that's all that I wanted to talk about for this video, and I'm just so excited for the Easter event in general, because since I have all the research on every single Easter Twisted, all I can focus on is just collecting ichor and egg baskets so that way I can buy the skins, especially Eggson's new skin. I absolutely love that. I headcanon that's actually a younger version of him, or maybe it's just him putting his old clothes back on and reminiscing about when he was younger. Anyways, that's gonna do it for today's video. Goodbye! They're holding hands. Two bros chilling on a bass plate, 5 feet apart cause they're not gay.